deal? Good morning, y'all. Yes, indeed, it's your main man, Coach, on an early Tuesday morning. Yo, I'm just glad that the Knicks got a win last night for their own edification, of course, and so that the fan base could calm down for a second and breathe. But knowing this morning, before I even hop on Twitter, they've already fired like 12 people and swapped out IQ for such and such and all that. You know how it goes, y'all. Y'all been in this game as long as I have, if not longer. Oh man! But I tell you what, excuse me, the Pacers are a tough team. And Malcolm Brogdon is definitely a tougher cat than I gave credit to. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to say I sleep on folk, but sometimes folk can go past my radar. I mean, I know he's a good point guard and all that. I've always known that, but yeah, I don't know. But then again, we do make players on other teams. We do find that guy to be that superstar of that game. That's kind of one of our little quirks this season. Is most definitely that. You know what I mean? So Kemba was good. Kemba was really good last night in the minutes that he played. Uh, Derek is Derek, but I don't want to lean on Derek as much as we've been leaning on Derek so far this season. I want to lean on Derek in the playoffs, not in the, first 20 game offs. You know. And I mean, honestly, folk, listen, I'm gonna be real with you about certain things. Fournier is a role player, like Terrence Ross and them to me. You know what I mean? Honestly, he always has been that kind of guy to me. So I'm not really. I mean, I've heard people, how come we're not bashing Fournier? I don't bash the role players that I'm not expecting to do, you know, big things. I mean, I don't expect big things from Fournier. I expect him to play solidly. Uh, Mitch, I need Mitch to sit for about a week. Honestly, guys, I need him to sit for about a week and a half. I mean, he got to get them ankles right. And those ankles have not been right since that Orlando game where he fell at the beginning of the year. We haven't really seen Mitch right after that. And he's fallen a couple of times after that, grabbing the ankles. And he left the game early yesterday because of them ankles. Now, if we don't get that squared away ASAP and get him back to 100% and comfortable at it, that could mess around and be a nagging joint that slows down his progress. And I know we as a base don't want that. So I would much rather risk losing Mitch for a week or so now preemptively than losing him for 2 months, like in March or February, if you can understand what I'm saying. So seeing that, and I'm like, all right, Nerlens was out, then he was back, now he's out again. We got to get our front court healthy. And if we're not going to get healthy, we need to truck Jericho Sims out there for a couple of turns of the spin down and see what he can do to gain some more traction and get used to playing them speeds and all of that because we're going to need. I mean, listen, Taj is a hero. He's a hero's hero. He's a player's player. But even Taj is getting up there in age, and I don't want him wearing down toward the end of the season. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with all of this. Is I'm glad I'm glad to see some things, but I just don't want us to wear down in those areas when we definitely are very early in the season. You know what I mean? But as far as the win itself, it was a good win. Uh, we kept Miles Turner at bay, which is important. You know, Malcolm went off a little bit, but he was about the only one that like really went off per se. You know what I mean? Caius LeVert is a wild, decent player, and he's going to get better as it goes. You know, but honestly, I feel like so is RJ, so that cancels out, and that's fine. Uh, that's a scrappy team, and they got a good coach. Excuse me, a good coach over there. So again, the end result I was actually happy about because the third quarter has been a bugaboo for us this season, and you know, at the end of the day, we could be in it or down by one or up by two at the half. And I'm not sold because I know we're going to implode at some point in that third quarter. And, dude, RJ and Randall got to figure it out. I mean, and the thing is, the looks were good, especially last night. The looks were good. It's just that the shots weren't dropping. You know, I mean, they weren't forcing nearly as much last night as I've seen them done in the past, Randall especially. Uh, I don't mind him bringing the ball up. I know there's a lot of fans that are mad at him bringing the ball. Listen, I don't need him to bring the ball up the entire game, but because he did it last year, there is some familiarity there as well. And I don't want to change his entire game to he's playing something that he doesn't even recognize from last year. So, look, if you got to do that every so often and keep his rhythm, fine. You know, again, rhythm and chemistry are really, really important. And I know that we haven't necessarily found our chemistry yet. And it seems like there's a tale of two Kembas. There's the Kemba that's aggressive and looks almost the same as Derrick Rose when he's on the court, attacking. And then there's the guy who kind of sits back, defers to Randall, and, you know, this is your team, my man. Hit it. You know what I mean? Kemba, at this point, this is your team too. So I need you to continue to hit it, but at the same time, find ways to get Randall where he likes it, and not just so much where he likes it, but where he can do the most with it. You know what I mean? That's becoming a key right now as well. Is now I said this before, and my wife was like, "Yeah, but," and I felt her on it. But I do feel like, you know, part of his, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but there are times where I feel like he's conserving energy. But, you know, at the same time, he is a new dad. Yeah, I mean, he got the little baby at home. And, you know, along with, you know, King Kai. And, you know, I know Taj got the little baby at home too. But, you know, Taj ain't supposed to be playing as many minutes as Randall is. And I know Obi's got the little baby at home too. But Obi young people. Obi got energy. Not saying that Randall is old, but man, after a while, boy, you know, you get them NBA miles on you, and then you got the babies. I'm just saying, I know newborns with their sleeping schedules and yada yada. That is a tedious time. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, there's also personal lives and stuff like that that could affect the on court play. You know, but end of the day, I know Tibbs will continue to tinker, continue to figure it out. And the one thing I like that he does is he definitely rides the hot hand. You know what I mean? He definitely does that. And Obi and Quickly have been lightning rods, life preservers, whatever you want to call it, when they come in. And IQ, lucky, found his shot last night, and we've been looking for it, but there it was. And Obi is really slowly but surely becoming just a fantastic ball player, you know? And I'm really enjoying their ascension. I'm not concerned about RJ's offense. I just don't want him to get into his head about it and eventually solve the problem and get back to being that player that was scoring 20 points 5 games in a row. We need that, especially going into January, February. You know what I mean? We got to close out November strong, and December is a heck of a month. But if we're going to start rounding in the form, we need to really start rounding in January. So we have momentum going into uh, winter, into the spring. And I'm trying not to think downrange too much. But I mean, all the East Coast teams that are better now are going to continue to get better. And it's gonna get tougher as the season goes. I mean, no disrespect to Orlando, I don't know how good they're going to be, but I do believe like teams like the Pacers are going to continue to get better. Then you got teams like the Bulls, Boston, just the Heat. Those are definitely teams. Well, honestly, more Bulls and Heat right now. Uh, with Jaylen Brown out and Jason Tatum missing shots. But at the end of the day, with the Nets and Philly and all of that, the East is tough this year. It's very, very, very tough, very competitive. And, we're going to need to be the best version of ourselves come mid-January. That's why I don't mind the egg breaking right now. I don't mind it at all. You know what I mean? With the new additions, but see, it's not just the new additions, it's the growth of the other additions. You know what I mean? That's the totality that we have to look at is the team has changed, the team is growing, and we are not in our final form at all. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta keep taking these wins and keep building on them, so that when we get to later on late in the year, we are in our final form or close to it, and we're kicking butt and taking names because everybody knows their role, everybody's comfortable in their role, everybody knows what they can do, and they believe in themselves. You know what I mean? We've gotten knocked off a bit, and I feel like with RJ and Randall, the belief has waned a little bit. But I feel like we definitely could get back to that. They definitely could get back to that. That feeling of, almost invincibility, that feeling of we're going to be in every game and we have a chance to win every game. We're going to get back to that. We got to finish this week out strong, and we got to go into next week strong as well in order for that to fully emerge. But I do believe that it will. I just do. And seeing us attack it the way we attacked it yesterday, getting punched, staying the course this time, and being in there at the end and actually having the shots fall. That was key. Having quickly in at the end of the game instead of Fournier was more key to Tibbs's trust factor than anything. Who was hot? Who helped get us here? That's who's going to close it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the win as I did. You know, there's still more to fix, most definitely, and it's game by game. But this was definitely a step in the right direction, and I will holler.